Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto, and today guys we're taking another cheeky look at Stellar. Specifically, we're only 85% away from the all-time high. So Chris, this is going to be an interesting video. We're going to be taking a look at Stellar. Obviously, it's only 85% away now from that all-time high. So we're going to get into that and see what the charts are looking like, talk a little bit over the analysis and how soon we might actually start thinking, an all-time high might get hit, Chris, for the Stellar network. So if you guys do find this video useful and informative, go ahead and smash that button. Chris really does appreciate it, so do I. And if by chance, in the traditional e-begging of this channel, Chris, if you're not subscribed, then do go ahead and subscribe, because by subscribing, you'll be kept up to date with all the various videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. So e-begging aside, it's a fantastic way if you want to stay up to date with all these various projects that we follow here on the channel. Right, so Chris, anything you want to say, or should we just jump straight over to the desktop and take a look at some of this fantastic news?
Nick loves this project. Let's get straight into it.
I do. So let's jump over to the desktop, right? So to start with, here's coin market cap, and we can see that at the point of recording this particular video, we are 49.9 cents for a Stellar Lumen, an XLM. Okay, and we have a total market cap of $11.2 billion. Basically, trading volume for today in the last 24 hours is 1.7 billion. So volume's slightly down, but market cap is slightly up, and we're slightly up for the day in terms of the XLM price. But the reason I brought this up mainly was to talk about what the all-time high was. So if we just shoot down here, we can see the all-time high was actually achieved, Chris, on the 4th of January 2018, so 3 years ago. And we can see also that that was actually 93.8 cents. Okay, so quite a significant difference, right? And we're going to get into what that might look like on our chart. So if we pull that up, we can kind of go through what's going on here. So basically, Stellar has started to settle, basically just above the former crucial resistance of 46.5 cents, and I've marked that on here with the blue line, so you can see just how well that is currently doing. So, closing the day above a key level will set, obviously, XLM on a trajectory to all-time highs, and that's going to be really important. We've obviously seen that we've taken out our first price target here of 55.8 cents, and we had called back a little bit since. And being above this key resistance area is going to be important. So the RSI, negative divergence suggests that a correction could be on the cards. So we'll have a look and see what's going on there as well. But basically, Stellar does appear, Chris, to have called off from the rally, and after breaking above the crucial area, from January 2018 hurdle, that was the 46.5 cents that we have marked on here. Then, a multi-year high has basically recently established at 61 cents. So bulls seem to have lost a little bit of steam, some people might think, and I just think these kind of corrections are very natural. They're a healthy correction, because you need to correct things like your RSI, your volumes need to potentially cool off a little bit, and you need to allow the market to breathe. So it's no surprise really that we saw this correction, was it, Chris?
No, we've seen similar stuff with eGold and Elrond and all that sort of stuff, haven't we? So yeah, probably maybe not as extreme as that scenario, but nonetheless, yeah, it's healthy at times, isn't it?
It is, yeah, and basically, the bulls have been able to hold above that resistance of the 46.5. So despite this correction, we've held strong, which is fantastic. So there could be another attack mission by the bulls, if you will, to take it up to the next price level and approach that all-time high. So basically, the progress for XLM, has made it's ongoing, and the bull run is tremendous, and I think you can see that when we look at all the altcoins piled together. It's only really just beginning. So there's lots going on here, and we can definitely see that XLM is going to be fast approaching the next level on our chart. So I think we look at the MACD as well. We can see that here. Basically, this is the moving average convergence divergence, or MACD for short, a trend direction indicator, right? And basically, This shows that Stellar is generally moving in an upward, upward trajectory, despite the current, setback or correction, which is fantastic on this daily chart. We can see the lines are getting slightly closer, but that may be, a false red flag. So, the technical indicator is used, to kind of correctly identify positions where traders can enter or exit the market. So it's quite a useful tool to get your head around. And currently the wide, divergence made by the MACD line, so the blue line, just here, basically above the other line, basically does, indicate that it's a bullish outlook. Now, obviously, as we speak about quite a lot on this chart, Chris, well, just on our channel as a whole, the MACD tends to follow the RSI. So the RSI is definitely something that I lean on a little bit more than, just the MACD line. So when you see things starting to happen here, we obviously have the positive movement on the RSI and then the positive cross on the MACD shortly after. So there's a little bit of a delay between those two. But the MACD is a good indicator alongside the RSI. Together they make quite a good pair. And most recently on this RSI, we can see that that's actually corrected from being overbought into a nice cool area. So things are looking okay for Stellar there. So, I'm not going to talk about, parabolic SAR points, confirmed that basically buyers are in control. I'm not going to go into too much of that side of things. But, we have to also consider what it might look like from the other side of the fence. So basically the RSI has a negative, divergence on it, on the 4-hourly chart specifically. And we'll get into that in a moment. And basically, I'm always quite positive, Chris. When the RSI goes down, that's a positive thing. When it goes up and becomes overbought, then you're going to be potentially getting that correction. But when you go down on the lower side of things, it means there's only one way to go, and that's back up again. So I think a lot of people generally misunderstand how the RSI really works, and you can use it to your advantage if you understand what's actually happening there. So let's, Chris, pull this. Let's see, before we go into a 4-hourly chart, let's just go down in a little bit more detail here. So we can see obviously that series of red, kind of correction we've had here, and we can see that 46.5 area marked out. We can see the volumes have been decreasing across these days, which is actually a good thing for keeping this correction quite mild. We can see that our RSI has fully corrected, no longer overbought. Could be better, could be a little bit lower, could have been nice to be down here, but nonetheless, we are not overbought at this stage, so that's quite a good thing. If we pull this down into that 4-hourly view, Chris, we'll have a little look at what's actually going on that 4-hourly chart. Here we can see that the RSI has quite nicely corrected just above the 50 level currently, and that's a good place to be. Obviously, it's not as good as touching that 30 line, for example, because when that happens, you get that massive swing to the top. So like I was saying before, it's usually a bit more of a concern to be up here overbought and then come on down. Whereas when you're at the bottom, there's only one way to go, and that is to the top. So currently around halfway down this RSI, we could get a bit of a kick in the volume, and this thing would pop right up to the overbought area, and we'll get a nice boost on the price. With that being said, though, we do require a bit more volume than is currently out there on this 4-hourly chart. The volume would have to increase quite nicely to basically maximize the potential of this RSI swing to the top side. We obviously see the MACD is in a negative or bearish situation at the moment, but it looks like it's likely to cross very, very soon. And obviously the candles, we can see that consolidation, trading sideways and bouncing quite nicely from our former resistance area of that 46.5, and it's working quite nicely for us. So nothing really to concern ourselves with there, Chris. So I'm not going to go into the 1-hourly on this one. I'm just going to pull this back up to that daily and kind of just talk through what this actually looks like. So ultimately, we know the RSI is in a pretty good place. We know the volumes are pretty low. They do need to improve. The MACD is actually in a negative position currently and is likely to switch to positive very soon. So when we talk about all-time high, Chris, we're only 86.7% away from that, and we're very, very close. So we've got the first price target, I guess, really is the one that we've already hit. That's the 55.8, and we have cooled down since then. The second price target that we have on our extension levels here is 82.7, but it could basically soar right up to that all-time high level and potentially go straight up to that $1.09 area. So lots to play for here on the Stellar Lumens chart and the XLM token. So things are looking very, very good. So we'll have to see, if this pattern continues, if we can get, a little bit of a boost in volume. as we close today's candle, we could start seeing some pretty decent moves to the upside for Stellar Lumens and the XLM token. Anything you'd like to add, Chris?
No, I just think there's lots going on behind the scenes, lots of work, lots of really good prospects, and yeah, I expect to start hearing some more news on some of these things, Nick, in the coming days. And I think, you know, if it's lined up well with what we're expecting here in the chart, then, you know, it could be a very, very good ride on XLM.
Yeah, and they've got some fantastic things that they're working on as well. We obviously have, you know, USDC that's finally on Stellar. We obviously have those 15,000 farmers over in Africa that are going to be using the USDC, you know, via Stellar to pay for all the goods and services that they need over there in terms of changing grain and all that kind of stuff, mainly unbanked, and doing some fantastic things with all that stuff. So lots going on, you know, just with that, let alone obviously, you know, stable coins and such as the EURB, obviously the USDC, and, you know, even real estate getting tokenized and, you know, bonds issued and all that kind of good stuff. So lots going on with Stellar. That's just absolutely fantastic. So guys, if you have found this video useful and informative, do go ahead and smash that like button. Chris really does appreciate it, as do I. And if by chance you're new to the channel and you're not yet subscribed, do go ahead and subscribe. By subscribing, you'll be kept up to date with all the various videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And with all this said and done, we hope you have a fantastic day, guys, and we'll catch you all in the next one.